Well, it's time for the fun to begin. It is round 17 of the Tier 1 Championship, and last week, the Drivers' Championship has been secured. Tonight, the Constructors is up for grabs. Can McLaren go, I believe, can they go 3 seasons in a row as Constructors Champions? Can they get it done? Let's find out. Let's find out. Can they go 3 in a row? This is RPL Formula 1 Tier 1. We are in round 17 here in Mexico. Dan Ironwolf on hand for tonight's comms. And we got a stacked grid for tonight. Full grid on hand. Let's get this show on the road, gentlemen. So, once everybody loads up, let's see what we're looking at for here. Here we go. And there is everybody here. So, here is our field. So, we have Bourbon in the Aston Martin, Raphael in the Ferrari, Gecko in Mercedes, Jacksta Kick Sauber, Savage in Williams, Cookie secured the Drivers' Championship last week at Coda. He's in McLaren. Edvin, second Ferrari. Torn Penguin in Red Bull. Allen in the second Sauber. SV with on loan Track Racer. These two are the V-Carbs. We have Goatley in the Haas. Cryptic in the Alpine. Willow, second McLaren. Reese, second Mercedes. Union, second Alpine. Alex Norris, second Haas. Andrea, second Red Bull. Shorts, second Williams. And Jack is the second Aston. So, as everybody is coming out on, as we're getting drivers out and about onto the track here, here's what we have. So, the races that we had previously. Tier 3, raced at Monaco. That was won by Track Racer in the Williams. No, I did not stutter. A Williams securing a victory in Tier 3. And, I mean, it is Monaco. Monaco's known for unpredictable bull, so that's what we have. And then Tier 2 yesterday was in China. That was won by Fusion. And now we move to Tier 1. Now, like I said, Cookie was the one getting the Drivers' Championship. And that was because he won the race in Coda with Skither in second and Willow in third. And speaking of the constructors, the gap, 140 points. McLaren, 529. Ferrari, 389. In order for, literally, after tonight, 129 points are up for grabs. So, for Ferrari to stay alive, they need to outscore McLaren by 12 points in order to get it done. Well, let's go with SV as he heads towards turn number 3 and 4 and 5. Completing sector number 1 here. Heading into, trying to not wheel spin it. Coming into 6. Now the S's. This S section is notorious for track limits and penalties in the races here. And SV actually navigating it very well here into the DRS zone. 56.3 is his sector 2 time. Here we go into the stadium hairpin. Nice and well through there. Now into the last corner to wrap up the lap. And let's see what SV's benchmark is going to be. And it is a 15.9, but it gets responded by F1 Shorts with a 15.1. Alex Norris with a 15.4. We have a Kick Sauber coming across. Jack Allen, that's a 16.1. Bourbon's just starting his time lap. Andrea 15.5 for his time lap. Willow with a 14.6. Reese with a 15.1. Cookie 15.1 as well. Let's see, we got some more cars coming on in. Union 16.1. Jack 15.9. SV with a 15. Oh wait, I already covered SV. Let's see. Goat Lee 16.5. Cryptic 16.0. Jaxa 16.5 as well. Traverse is just starting his time lap. Gecko moving out of the way of, I believe that was Cookie. Cookie gave him a little bit of a tow. Bourbon, I believe, is in the S's, and he's invalidated, so he's gonna have to try again. Let's go with Gecko, sitting. Gecko sitting 4th in the championship standings, just quite a bit ahead of 5th place of Alex Norris. Not sure if Gecko has an opportunity to probably push for 3rd in the championship, but I digress. Let's see what Gecko's got as he comes across the line, and he goes 14.7 with a 2nd place, only 11 thousandths behind Willow. Let's go on hand with Trap Racer. He has it. Oh! Jack just rear-ended Reese. That's not fun. And Trap Racer is 8th fastest, by the way. 15.963, 1,000th of a second faster than SV. And Bourbon still has an invalid lap. Let's go to Torn Penguin, coming out of turn 3. I wonder how. I mean, Jack just made a mistake on his part. Yeah, actually, where is Beatnik? He did say he was possibly available, wasn't he? He said he might be available. We'll have to wait and see if he's able to, if he is available. But let's go with Torn Penguin coming out of the last couple of corners to get his time lap up onto the board. And it is 15.5. That puts him 8th fastest. So Bourbon, unfortunately, just can't seem to get any luck with a lap here because of the invalidations. But here comes the 2 Ferraris. Up versus Edvin. He goes up. He goes in the 3rd. And Raphael goes in the 7th. So 15.02 for Edvin. And a 15.17 for Raphael. So we have 2 drivers yet to get a lap in. We have Bourbon and Savage yet to get a lap in on their part. We have a couple of drivers I think might be on cooldowns. Yes, Torn Penguin's on a cooldown. Looks like Trat is on another run. And he's about 21 thousandths up. So, I mean, it's gonna improve his time. It's gonna slightly improve his time, but not do much. Let's see what the 3rd sector's got on hand. Gecko sitting in 2nd. He's done enough to warrant to go through the Q2. Will thinks the exact same thing. And Trap Racer just barely misses off by 8 thousandths of a second. Let's go to AJ. As he heads to the Sector 1 split. Half a tenth up in Sector 1. Alex Norris in the 8th place position Thinks he's done enough to get through to Q2. Well, he's sitting in 8th. Time will tell. He is currently the fastest Haas out of there, and he is the 3rd fastest Ferrari Academy car right now in the 8th place spot. AJ coming into Sector 2 split, just about 2/10 up. That's going to put him, I think that's going to put him just ahead of Track Racer in the 11th place position. Let's see what AJ's guys. He comes out of the final corner, and he comes across the line, and oh, he really buggered it in the stadium. Because he improved by about 400ths, but didn't do much damage at all. Cryptic retrying his lap. He invalidated. Let's go to Savage as he's navigating the S's. And here we go. Through the S's we go. And here he comes into the stadium section. 56.6 was his second sector. And here we go. Across the line comes Savage. And he 17th was 16.3. That is the slope. That is 17th. That puts him in the bottom 5 at this time. Let's go to Let's switch to Cryptic. Right behind him on the track map, I believe, is Jack. Yes, it is. Let's see what these two got. See if they can improve their positions. Cryptic in 14th, Jack in 13th. Here comes Cryptic to the second sector split. 200ths up. While Jack... well, won't tell me. Won't tell me because it's being a jerk. Andrea in 8th. He's done enough to make it through. Short's up in the 5th. Cryptic has back to the pits. Of validation. Jack improves up to 10th. So Jack up into the 10th place spot, gives himself an even bigger cushion in regards to staying out of the bottom of the pile. Let's see what Goat Lee's guys. He comes across the line. He goes up in the 13th. He pushes Cryptic to the bottom 5. But with 6 minutes 15 seconds to go, anything can happen. Union, by the way, 10th and a half down in Sector 1, improved to about 10th and a half up in Sector 2. So he gained about 3/10 in that second sector. But here comes Union across the line. He jumps to 12th ahead of Bourbon, and he knocks SV down to the bottom 5. Let's go to Jackson now. 2/10 up in the second sector. That is going to put him just ahead of Savage in the 19th position, but he's really going to need something to get himself out of the bottom 5. Here he comes out of the final corner, and across the line goes Jacksta. He's only 19th. Reese has done enough to think he's good enough to go into Q number 2. The top 9 have called it and feel they are safe enough to go forward. And Bourbon in 13th. He thinks he's done enough, but he's in 13th, right at the cusp. I don't know. Literally, it's about a 10th and a half between 13th to 16th. And SV not improving in the second sector. Trav Racer looking close to it. Let's see what Trav's got. 2/10 up in Sector 2. SV has gone back to the pits. Let's see if Trav Racer can actually get a better feel through the final sector. Screwed him up last time. Here he comes across the line. He goes 14th. So he's just behind Bourbon, but he swaps with Goat Lee. When Penguin going up, about just a little over a tenth. That's going to put him just ahead of Alex Norris in the 9th position. Let's see what he's got for extra improvement out of the final corner through the final sector. And Torn Penguin goes up into 8th fastest. So he goes a tenth and a half ahead of Andrea. AJ about 700ths up in Sector 2. Cryptic over a quarter of a second up in Sector 2. So Cryptic at this moment could pass Bourbon for the 13th position. There he comes Cryptic out of the last corner. 3 minutes left to go. And Cryptic does go up in there. He's in the 12th place position. Bourbon showed down the 14th. AJ has gone into the pits. He is done. And that is our first elimination from Q1. So Alan is out. So that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So we got three guys on and out lap in the bottom 5 currently out there. One of them that we're on with right now is Goat Lee. Now, in order to get himself out of the bottom 5, he has to beat a 15.742. So basically about 2/10 he has to get that buffer over there. Whoa! Jacksta moves out of the way at the absolute last second. I think that might have hurt Goat Lee just a tiny bit. I think it might have. Goat Lee only down by 9,000ths of a second. I think Jacksta just wasn't paying attention, was snoozing just a tiny bit. No offense, Jacksta, but oh my goodness. If those two wound up crashing, that would have been horrible. Is it raining? I just saw the rain drop things pop up on my screen. Yup, we got rain. I think this is why a bunch of people were calling it a day, because I think they're thinking like, oh, rain right at the tail end. I think these guys will be not need enough. But Goat Lee, definitely not enough. So that's an unfortunate moment for him. SV about 900 back. Savage about 2/10 up. Whoa, save it, SV. Oh, that's a nasty hit. Double whammy hits all around, and SV, he's definitely out. And Savage goes wide out of the stadium, and yeah, I think the track just got too wet too quick. Well, in that sense, that's our qualifying right there. So Willow, Gecko, and Edvin are your top 3, and we say goodbye to the Hasa Goat Lee, the V-Carb of SV, both Kick Saubers of Allen and Jacksta, and the Williams of Savage. And with a light rain on hand, probably by the looks of it, we'll be seeing inters for Q2 on. Alright, so here we are in Q2. And looks like it is going to be Inter's time for everybody. We have an Ascent coming out. That is going to be Jack. So Jack is going to be pretty much the test dummy for these Inter conditions. So, while the drivers are out and about on their outlaps, let's go over our calendar for the remainder of the weekend. So tomorrow, Le Mans Ultimate will be at Interlagos for their Week 7 event. Now, we don't know if Amir Otez is going to be available to do commentary for it, but we will keep you posted in regards to that. And for Tier 3 and Tier 2 next week, Tier 3 will be at Singapore for round 8 of their championship, and Tier 2 will be at Bahrain for their 8th round of their championship. And I believe also next week for next week, both the championships for Tier 2 and for Tier 2, both drivers and constructors, I believe, are going to be up for grabs. But we'll have the answer for that in due time. Tier 3, I believe both championships still got at least another week on hand, so probably the penultimate round will probably be the first opportunity for the championships to be secured. Let's go on board with Jack as he navigates through the S's. Just feathering with the throttle and lifting off every now and again. Just keeping that throttle output sporadic. But here we go into the stadium here. And coming into the last couple corners. Let's see what Jack's gonna have for his benchmark. The 23.3. So that is the benchmark. Let's see what everybody else has. 24.0 for Cryptic, 23.0 for Gecko, Storm Penguin 23.3, Andrea 23.4, 23.7 for Bourbon, 23.7 for Shorts, 22.7 for both Reese and Cookie. Willow with a 23.7. Trap Racer 23.6. Raphael 22.7. Union with a 24.0. Alex Norris 23.3. And Edvin should be the last one. He's actually sliding about. He's on the softs. Are you a madman? You're a madman for doing that. But I think here's what's crazy. Look at the separation at the top three. With Reese, Raphael, and Cookie. 0.03 of a second exactly separates the top three. So let's take a look for what they got. Let's see what they got for their Sector 1. So 29.6 for Reese, 29.4. Wow, so Reese was the slowest in Sector 1. Because Cookie and Raphael were ahead by almost 2 tenths. 31.7, 31.7, 31.5. But Reese made up for it in the second sector. 21.5 in Sector 3, 21.5 for Sector 3, 21.5 for Sector 3. So, basically, so pretty much it was, they were just around equal in Sector 3. Reese was the slowest in Sector 1, but then was the fastest in Sector 2. That's quite interesting, not gonna lie. Oh. Nice little snap on, crazy little snap on Edvin. Oh, not Edvin, Raphael. And Raphael just got a little too wide out of turn 3. That winds up invalidating his time, and he would have had some improvements out of it. But Cookie now, going into the last couple corners, he's over 4 tenths up in Sector 2. And coming in and across, 22.3 for Cookie. He now is the fastest driver on hand. Let's switch to Willow. Willow's actually slowing down. Just to chill and relax. Drat Racer just moved up into 6th fastest. Union went to 9th. And Bourbon up into 4th. A 22.9 for Bourbon. And this is the unpredictability of the inters here, because sometimes it won't take much to improve conditions and everything. Looks like the rain has stopped. So it looks like we had a brief shower. But now bears the question is, how quick will the track dry out? Penguin just puts himself into the 21s with a 21.9. About 1.1 seconds up. That's gonna put him in the 21.8 if he doesn't fry the tires. Oh, an invalidation. Oh, validation in the penultimate corner. If he didn't do that, he would have been perfectly fine. Oh. Oh, I wonder what the race weather is gonna be like. I could check with the Merc Academy people, see what the weather conditions are. I'll probably check once we wrap up Trat Racer's lap here. .4 seconds for that one. That's gonna be a 21.6 for Trat. And invalidated. Turned in too early in the third and final corner. So that is gonna be, that's just a major kick in the can for Trat. But all the Ferraris are on their out lap. Let's find out what we got. Alright, just got my answer. It's full dry all the way around for the race. So full dry we're looking at. Let's go to Edvin. Returning back to the soft compound tires. Let's see what he's gonna have for a run here coming out of turn 3. DRS and ERS both deployed into the braking zone. Now into turn 6. Getting up in the gears. Nice stuff. Through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now in the 13 stadium section. Heavy braking of 14. 15 and the tiny notch 16. 17 and 18 to wrap up his lap. Edvin, his first lap actually. 15-0 on those softs. So the softs are in full light. And I don't know why Gecko's back on the track on the inters. He's just gonna have some fried tires by the end of this. Well, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Gecko, I think your choice of going under these tires, this is a costly mistake. Because Gecko, I don't think you have enough time. No, he doesn't. So I think Gecko's mistake of going back out onto the inters, Gecko is not going to have enough time. So I think we have to say it. Gecko, yep, he's retired. Gecko is out of Q2. Oh my god. The guy that's 4th in the Drivers' Championship just does a silly mistake like that. Damn. Well, speaking of the bottom 5, let's take a look at Shorts as he's heading into the Sector 2 split. He's definitely going to be improving his position way up there. It's almost 6 seconds up, so he's looking into the 17s. But let's see if he can get himself into the 15s. Into the last corner he comes. And here comes Shorts across the line. He is going to go up to second, about 200ths behind Edvin. And let's keep an eye on some more drivers here. Reese goes on top of the board. And Trat, whoa! Well, Trat just firing off on his lap. Penguin was right there, but Penguin did have an invalidated lap. So, I mean, Trat was there in the way, but Penguin did have his lap invalidated, so I mean, I don't know if that counts as impeding or not. Cookie up into the 14s. Reese in the 14s too. But here we go. This is the marks. So let's go to Cryptic. He is in the bottom 5. He's got a gang of cars behind him. He's got either Bourbon or Jack right behind him. Let's switch to Jack. As Cryptic's about to come across. Goes up to 6. Bourbon. Oh, Bourbon invalidated. Shorts in 4th. Jack in 6th. Oh, man. There goes Bourbon. He's out. Andrea now is on top. Raphael at risk. Cryptic's out. Jack is out. Oh! Damn! Torn Penguin is out. Torn Penguin eliminated from Q3 to go into Q3. But let's take a look here. So, look at that. 7 thousandths of a second between Union and Penguin. So Andrea, Raphael, and Cookie are your top 3. And eliminated, we say goodbye to the Red Bull of Torn Penguin, both Astons of Jack and Bourbon, the Alpine of Cryptic, and the Mercedes of Gecko. Gecko making a mistake. Bourbon invalidated his lap. So, 2 shocking eliminations in Q2, that being Penguin and Gecko. But, I mean, it's possible maybe Gecko's was kind of sort of self-inflicted. Well, it is time for Q3. And for Q3, we have both Ferraris of Raphael and Edvin, both McLarens of Cookie and Willow, and then the remaining 6, we got the V-Carb of Trat, the Mercedes of Reese, the Alpine of Union, the Haas of Alex Norris, Red Bull of Andrea, and the Williams of Shorts. Well, place your bets, people. Who do you think's getting pole position? Who do you think our top 3 is going to be when this is all said and done? I'm torn between 2 options. Either it's going to be both Ferraris and Cookie, or it's going to be both McLarens and Edvin. I'm torn between either one. That's what I'm going at with my top 3. But it's a toss-up between either one of those 2. But it's time for some laps. Come on, hand. Let's go on board with Cookie. He navigates through turn 5. Now Haas is ahead of him. That is Alex Norris. So Alex Norris will be the benchmark, the first driver to get his Q3 lap in. But let's see what Cookie's got in regards to his time. Very nice navigation through the S's here. As Reese moves out of the way. But Reese now sliding in behind Cookie. So maybe Reese might see if he can get himself a little bit of a slip from Cookie here. Cookie with a slide out of second to last corner. It's a 15-1 for Alex Norris, but a 14-8 for Cookie. So, I mean, Cookie had a Tokyo Drift moment in there, and if that lap counted 14-4 for Willow, that would have been pole. Andrea 14-6. If Willow's lap counted, that would have been second for Andrea. Raphael on top with a 14-5. Evans just getting his time lap onto the board. Union has gone back to the pits. Trap Racer coming out of the last corner now, and across the line he goes. He'll go behind Alex Norris with a 15-7 for his troubles. Reese with a 55-7 in the second sector split. Here comes Reese now into the last corner. Trying to not make the same mistake that Cookie did, but across the line he comes. It's a 14-9 for Reese. Edvin unfortunately just invalidated his time lap, so he's gonna have to retry again. And Short's also invalidated, but moves out of the way of both Ferraris. Well, he has a full battery available, so he can try again. Oh, maybe not. Back into the pits. So, half the field have set a lap. The other half yet to get it done. Let's switch over to Union now, as he is getting hit, is on hand for his time lap. Navigating in through, we'll bump up a turn 2. DRS and ERS both deployed. Cookie is back out for another run. There's Cookie ahead. Union navigating the S's. Now into the stadium section. Cookie moving out of the way for Union. Union stomping that foot down. And it's the slowest. It's a 15-7 for him. The Cookie getting a nice slipstream courtesy of Union. turn 3. Down the secondary, down the second straight, DRS straight number 2. 2/10 up in sector 2. Out of 5. Now heading into 6. Oh, invalidated! Oh, Cookie got a little too greedy on that curbing, exiting out of 5. He got too greedy. That's gonna cost him just a bit here. And looks like he only improved by about 200ths in the second sector. Much better line out of there, and coming back to the pits, Cookie unfortunately screws up. 3.5 minutes left to go. So there's still time for people to come out and try again to get a better lap in. I mean, Evan was one of them. He would have had a lap. Now, if his lap counted, he would have had a lap that would have been a 10th quicker than Cookie as it sat. So Evans is on that lap. Shorts is just coming back out onto the track. So anything is possible. Alex Norris is just coming back out. I believe Willow, I think it's just coming back out too. Nope, Cookie's back out. So here comes Edvin, just getting his lap on. Raphael's just popping out of the pits, same with Reese. There's Willow's making his presence. Alright, so through turns 1, 2, and 3 goes Edvin. If you make your mistake early, you still have time to regain the battery and try again for another run. But do it too deep in the lap, you're pretty much done and dusted. Edvin out of turn 5. Easier now into turn 6. Now here we go into the S's. 7, 8, 9, into 10, and 11 and 12. Down to DRS. Into 13. Now into 14. And 15 with that little notch of 16. 17 and 18 to wrap it up. There comes Edvin across the line. It's a 14-8. That puts him just behind Cookie. So he would have. So that means that Edvin won't have a chance to go for pole position here. Alex Norris up by a couple hundredths. Cookie 900ths up in sector 1. So 200ths for Alex Norris, almost a 10th up for Cookie. But let's see what happens through the second sector. Here we go, second sector now. Alex Norris, almost 2/10. Cookie, almost 3/10. So Cookie is looking towards pole. Well, let's see what we got here. Alex Norris across the line. Matches Reese's time. Cookie 14-0. Just rocket ships his way up in there. Raphael invalidated. He's done. Willow into the stadium. So the Ferraris No answer for Cookie. But here comes Willow out of the final corner. Goes across the line. Into the 13s. Willow gets the pole position. And Reese to third. Trat invalidated. He would have stayed 7th regardless. Here comes Andrea. He goes to third now. F1 Shorts to 6th. And Union in 9th. So Willow gets pole position over Cookie and Andrea. And the Ferraris 5th and 7th. So McLaren strikes the first blow for their constructors' hopes to stay put. And 1 second separates the top 8. And there is the final results there. So Willow on top with Cookie, Andrea for the top 3, Reese and Raphael for the top 5, and then the top 10 it is Shorts, Edvin, Alex Norris, Union, and Trat Racer. And by the way, I just want to note this, because I did see it in the Drivers' Championship earlier while I was looking at it. Willow, this is his first pole of the season. So Willow getting his first pole position. And not only was it Willow's first pole of the season in Tier 1 this season, it's actually his first ever. Nice stuff. Well, while we wait on everybody for we had the back half of the field for their grid spots. So Torn Penguin is in 11th, Cryptic in 12th, Bourbon 13th, Gecko 14th, Goatleaf 15th, SV in 16th, Jax having to serve that 5-place grid drop is in 17th, Allen in 18th, Jackson 19th, and Savage will round out the field. Alright, so the 5 lights come on for the Mexican Grand Prix of RPL. Lights out and off we go. Good reaction from Cookie, who gets an immediate jump over his teammate. And Reese following him right behind. Andrea looking to try to gun for the 2nd place spot. Into turn 1 we go. 3 wide, little gangle between the Ferraris and Alex Norris, and Willow has gone for a spin. So has Gecko. Willow and Gecko both go for a spin, and that is not good. The guy in pole position now down to dead last, and Gecko starting 14th. He's down there too, and we got ghosting involved here between Edvin and SV. Edvin does maintain that 9th place positioning, but Cookie takes off with the lead at this moment. Did the Edvin lag curse hit again? It got Cookie. It got one of the other. It got Reese. Did it get Willow? Who knows? But DRS is active, and we just have a spin. That's for Savage, who's cut the stadium section. But our first lap is done. We have Cookie ahead of Andrea, Reese, Alex Norris, Raphael, Shorts. Speaking of Edvin making a move on F1 Union, side by side. That's for 8th place. Edvin gets it. So Edvin in 8th, Union 9th, and Torn Penguin gets himself in the 10th place. Urban and Jackson battling for the 16th place position, seeing it on our screens here. Let's go on board with Torn Penguin. Chasing Union down. This is for the 11th, for the 9th place spot. Torn Penguin would love to get himself some more spots after starting in P11 earlier on. Nothing seems to come out of this. Let's go to the back end. Gecko was trying to eyeball Bourbon for the 17th position. Looks like he might go for it in the stadium, but can't seem to get it done. Let's switch to Raphael as he switches with Alex Norris. Into the 4th place spot goes Raphael. Gecko getting past... Gecko and Will getting past Bourbon, as you can see in the background. Let's switch to SV. He's right on the back end of Torn Penguin. Torn Penguin on the back end of Union. No movements at this moment. There might be a movement in the background. Yes, it is Willow over Jacksta for the 16th place position. Catching that in the back, seeing that in the background. So let's take a look at our tires for everybody here. So it is Union, SV, Jack, and 8 and Allen on the hard compound tires. Everybody else is on the medium compound tires. Savage did pit, by the way, for there. And probably at the end of lap 5, we'll take a look and see who are the biggest gainers and losers of the event. Oh, AJ goes very wide out of turn 13. And Cryptic trying to take full advantage of it, trying to go on the inside, but there's Willow there as well. There he is. Willow going ahead. And into 15th he goes. Might have a battle for the lead, possibly. Andrea breathing down the neck of there, but let's switch over to Edvin down the inside against Track Racer to go into 7th. He gets done. Looking to try to reposition to go for another go. Nope, not close enough. Gotta get credit. One thing you gotta get credit for in this early stage, Alex Norris and Shorts, both sitting in 5th and 6th at this moment. Shorts didn't move from his position where he was. Alex Norris gained 3 positions since the start. So, I mean, Haas is looking at some nice points on their end when they get themselves into there. Let's go on board with Edvin for a little bit. There's his teammate Raphael in the 4th place position. He's got Alex Norris and Shorts right behind him. And Willow's yet to... He's trying to eyeball Allen for the 14th place position. Gecko passed Cryptic a little bit ago. Get himself in the 16th. Let's go towards the front. As Andreas still staying in tune with Cookie at this moment, but no movements yet from anybody towards this set. Speaking of that, no, never mind. There's Willow down the inside of Allen. Up to 14th he goes, and Allen into the penalty box. The first one. And looks like Shorts is trying to eyeball Alex Norris for the 5th place position. And now Goat Lee into the penalty box now. 36 laps is the distance. We're just about to complete lap number 4. This time around, we'll be completing lap 4 of this event. on board with Shorts as he still has DRS to Alex Norris, but trying to hold off with there. Looks like Willow has just switched with Goat Lee and take the 13th place position. Now wants to try to get himself into DRS of Jack to go for 12. Let's watch Edvin here as he's right on his tail trying to chase down. Shorts going to the right to maybe well, looks like he's just breaking the line, and Edvin is up in the 6th place. And Gecko clearing Allen for the 15th place position. So let's take a look at our biggest gainers and losers at this moment. So our biggest gainer is a tie between SV and Jack, both gaining 5 positions from the start of the event. The biggest loser right now, unfortunately, is Willow, losing 12 spots since the start. He was down and dead last at one point, but he is on the recovery. So just want to note again, for those just joining in, Ferrari needs to outscore McLaren by 12 points in order to keep their championship hopes alive in the Constructors. But at this present moment, via the live standings, McLaren will jump Ferrari by 5 more points, and that will be the crucial bit that they need. Willow has gone to the pits. Meanwhile, Edvin passing Alex Norris for the 5th place spot. Jack under threat from jacking past SV for the 12th place spot. Gecko passing Goat Lee for 13th. Huh. I don't know what in the world happened with Willow. Did he change his wing? Nope, he didn't. I guess those mediums were just shredding. We're just completely shredding. Nice move in that turn 6 hairpin from Union to get past Trat for the 8th place spot. Trat is a Mercedes Academy driver. He's on loan to V-Carb here. Let's go on board. Actually, let's go up on board with Reese, who's about 8/10 behind Andrea. Could gain quite a lot of ground on. Could gain quite a bit of ground on Andrea, but no motion yet to go for a position. Let's switch up back again. Looks like Jack was thinking of eyeballing Twin Penguin, but nah. Then again, they're Academy teammates, so maybe not in this sense. Twin Penguin's still stuck in the 10th place spot, while his teammate Andrea is all by his lonesome in the 2nd place spot. See in the foreground there, the Ferraris has switched. That being Edvin and Raphael. Edvin and Raphael have swapped positions, going into turn 4. Now Edvin can probably get turned loose to chase down the front 3. Switch over to F1 Union as he is right on, was eyeballing Shorts, looking for 7th. I mean, Edvin does have a decent sized train. It's from him, it starts at him and it goes all the way back to Gecko in the 13th position. 10 cars in a train. But who's willing to break the train? Well, speaking of braking, Reese down the inside of turn 1 gets the move done, and into 2nd goes Reese. He finally gets the move done. Nice move by Reese. Looks like Gecko has just cleared SV for the 12th place spot. Now can chase Now Jack can chase Jack down for 11th. Let's see how Andrea's going to respond to losing out to Reese here. We're on board with him. Oh, little slide coming out of 13. But keeps it nice and touch. Go lead again into the penalty box. Here comes Andrea. Flying his way down 216 and rockets past Reese like he was sitting still. And Andrea is back into the second place spot. I thought the Ferraris were about ready to switch positions again, but that is a no. That is a no on that one. Trap Racer just lost tabs on the train ahead. So Edvin trying to pull the train away and breaking off any unnecessary cars that are in the way. And we have a crash that's in the stadium. That is for Savage. Savage has crashed again. And that's the second time he's crashed in the stadium. He's off and going, so nothing harmed there. Actually, we just had an incident. In just before the stadium. It's like Gecko. Gecko wound up losing a spot to SV. So Gecko must have made a bad mistake on his end. And into the pits goes Gecko. And Shorts lets Union through into 8th. Torn Penguin on the inside. Trat into 9th. Now let's switch to Jack as he's on the outside. Switching over to the inside. Trap goes to block. Putting the pressure on Jack in the turn 4. Nice job on Jack to keep Trap behind, and into 10th he goes. SV with a little bump with Trap. And SV backing off. Goes into 11th for SV. Savage again in the stadium. And there he is. Savage is now lapped. I think it's set. Well, Savage ain't moving much at all. But anyways, well, SV just got himself into the penalty box now. Let's go to our next battle. We have Union having to go the long way around to get past Alex Norris. Gets it done into there, and in he's out, and there goes Savage. He is out of the race. Union up in the 6th now. Trap Racer was into the pits as well. Pits gets off of the mediums and onto a fresh set of hard compound tires. And these are the guys that made their stops. Willow, Goatly, Gecko, Trap, Bourbon, and Jacksta have made their stops. Oh, the herd the herd up front is fanned out as it looks like we could see a fight again between Reese and Andrea. Or if Reese is gonna get close enough here to warrant any kind of attack. From Penguin has gone in. Two Ferraris of Edvin and Raphael staying close in tune. They are 4th and 5th, but they're not gaining any ground on McLaren and the constructors. They're going to be losing out on 3 points. As Edvin and Raphael are at 22 compared to Cookie with 25. Union getting real up close and personal with the two Ferraris. SV dealing with Jack in for the 10th place spot. There's your penalties there. But Union with those hards is playing. I think the hards have really come into light here, as you can see in the stadium here, because both Ferraris are just trundling through the stadium. Well, Union's just trying to nudge Raphael along, saying, "Come on, you know there's a gas pedal on your right. Go push it." Andre and Reese have gone into the pits. Let's see where Reese and Andrea come out. We know Will is gonna have to pit again later on, because he pitted on lap 7. Let's see what happens in this sense. Looks like Andrea and Reese have come out in the 8th and 9th place spots, but let's see. Looks like Reese is just trying to eyeball a move, perhaps. It's getting pretty close with Reese, but no dice. No dice there. Edvin, Cookie's lead over Edvin is 8 seconds right now. And the top 6 is yet to switch, and Edvin with Union battling it out for 3rd. He's trying to psych him out. He does so on the inside with a switchback. Union taking it to the Ferraris here. Raphael gets the position back, but Union not done yet. Down the inside in turn 1 and gets the position. Union ahead of Raphael. Very good battle between those two. See if Reese is getting any closer to Andrea here. Speaking of Andrea, he's actually coming close to DRS of Cookie right now. So Cookie made his stop. The Ferraris have yet to pit. And we have an issue. That was Goat Lee that had an issue in turn 4. I'm not sure who he tangled with. Probably could have been with Alex. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Alex Norris that had a tangle. Because he was ghosting inside of F1 shorts. Bourbon and Allen get themselves into the penalty box. Raphael is in. Let's go to Reese. He has no ERS available. Doesn't have any ERS on hand at this present moment. So, with Raphael in, he's just coming out ahead, just behind SV, in the 14th place position. So, that means doesn't have any DRS here. Let's switch to Union and Edvin. Edvin should be coming in next time. This is the battle for the lead at this present moment, but F1 Union deciding, nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna recharge my battery up a little bit. Cookie on the tail of Willow. Seeing it on the screen here. Reese inching ever so closer to Andrea. And in the pits they go. And Union does inherit the lead. And will have free air and free DRS. The switch up between the McLarens. Cookie up in the third. Now Jack and Union have yet to stop, so Cookie will inherit the lead back. But now with Willow in what's net second, Willow can play the team game and hold up. Oh, Reese in the penalty box. Torn Penguin passing Trat Racer as well. Reese in the penalty box exiting turn 3. That is going to be that's going to be costly. Edvin came out in 14th, just behind SV as well. So SV coming out ahead of both Ferraris. Meanwhile, Jack moves over and Cookie goes through in the second. But now Willow has a job on hand. He needs to get past Jack and defend against Andrea. And Jack is actually heading in. So now let's see. Can Andrea get past Willow, or Willow keep him back? Here we go. Andrea looking for the outside. Now the inside. Little touch. Little rubbing his race and bumping again. And whoa. Andrea goes slightly wide. And Willow just muscling with Andrea. And whoa. Touch and touch. There goes Willow off of there. I think got to turn into turn 3. Given where they were, I think Willow caught the curb, went a little bit, and then that caused a bump between Andrea and Willow, and that sent Andrea wide. Now Andrea did get the position over Willow, and Union did lose the lead to Cookie at the end of lap 18. So Union led for about 4 or 5-ish laps. Now Andrea down the inside. Into turn 1, Reese covers in turn 2, out 3. But here comes Andrea again, this time the long way, and Andrea gets second place back. Close actions here. Now, by the way, Gecko, is back up into the points after that scuffle on the opening lap. He's up in the 7th place at this moment. It's on 8-lap-old medium, 8-lap-old hards. We'll have to wait and see here. Union will probably be seeing into the pits, probably within the next lap or so. Could be this time by too. Union's still staying out. Let's ride on board with Reese as he's chasing Andrea down, but can't seem to be close enough for it as Gecko is back in. Gecko is back in the pits. Any movements back there? Nope. Let's take a gander. Let's take a quick gander. I don't see any ganders there, but Andrea, by the way, was just about to eyeball a shot on Union. Now Andrea's gonna be like, oh great, I had to deal with Willow, now I gotta deal with another one? And they're side by side, hanging in a 7. Whoa! Andrea goes wide off of there and cut the track. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, from our angle, it looked like because Union was ahead into the apex. So, I mean, not sure what happened, what went off into there, but that's probably that might be seeing the sewers, and we'll have to see what happens in regards to that. If it sees them. But going back, let's go on board with Raphael. Got F1 Shorts just ahead of him in the 9th place position. Alex Norris ahead of Shorts in the 8th place position. And Trat Racer in the 7th place position. Storm Penguin in 6th has a penalty on him. At this moment, Storm Penguin is going to be dropping all the way down to 10th place at the... No, it's not 10th place. Drop down to 9th place if the race ended right then and there. Alex Norris really trying to put some pressure on Trat Racer here. Once Cookie comes across the line, there'll be 15 laps to go in this race. At the moment right now, McLaren will be securing the Constructors' Championship for the 3rd straight season in a row here, as Willow actually has just gone back to the pits. Union has dived off too. So that means that Trat Racer is going up in the 5th. Alex Norris in 6th. Let's see what happens here. Looking at the back of Alex Norris's camera, there's Raphael down the inside. While Alex Norris making a move on Trat. Alex Norris up to 5th. And Raphael up in the 7th. Edvin trying to fight with Shorts for the 8th place spot. And he does so. Shorts plump loses 2 spots to both Ferraris. But he's not willing to give up. He's trying to fight back against Edvin. Alright, so Willow is in the 14th position. Union in 15th. Gecko in 17th right now. Well, make that 13th, because Willow just passed Bourbon before getting into the S's. Let's see if Reese is going to be close enough to warrant a fight against Andrea. Not close enough at this moment. Gecko passing Cryptic for the 16th place position. Meanwhile, Edvin on the inside against Trat. Looks like he's going to go for a 2-for-1 special. Down the inside against Alex Norris. He gets done. Raphael getting 2 positions before turn 1. Looks like Trat looking to follow in pursuit. Goes around the outside and passes Alex Norris back to get 6th. Now, I might need the walking, talking encyclopedia here, but, Cyril's, if you have a moment, can you see if Trat Racer has scored points in Tier 1 before? And if he has, when was the last time he did it? While we're focused on that, Edmund down the inside against Alex Norris to go for there. Whoa! That was pretty close. That was pretty close. Closer comfort between those three, but Edmund back to 6th. Alex Norris in the 7th. Here's Shorts looking to find a way around Trap for the 8th place spot. No motions in that regards. Willow, by the way, passed Jack for the 12th place spot. Saw that in our demographic just before turn 1. Willow just needs needs 2 more spots, and he has a chance to get himself into points here. And speaking of points, Torn Penguin has a track limit penalty on him. So he is going to be losing 4th place to Raphael at this moment. But he's still got a 6/10 of a second gap over Edvin. So he will maintain 5th. Oh, looked like Reese was trying to eyeball Andrea for 2nd. But just couldn't seem to get it done. Let's switch to SV, who's looking for a move against Allen. This is for the 10th place position. He does so, but Willow's creeping up quick. And SV having a penalty. Willow is going to be getting that 10th place by default, courtesy of the track limit penalties. Frat Racer just losing tabs to Alex Norris right now. SV a 2nd track limit penalty for his troubles. Shorts trying to eyeball Trat Racer. That's for 8th place right now. Seeing on the track map as Willow just passing AJ, seeing it in the background. That's for the 11th place spot. Now, it is going to be an inevitability, but let's switch up. Battle for 4th, getting it 4 on track. Raphael passes Torn Penguin, and into 4th goes Raphael. Willow, by the way, passed SV to get himself into the 10th place spot. Now Willow has 2 Merc Academy teammates ahead of him. F1 Shorts in the Williams, and Trat Racer in the V-car. Oh, Jesus! Willow penalty. Track limit penalty. That's going to be costly. SV just had a costly moment in turn 4. Oh, little bump with Allen, and lost out even more. How many laps is... Oh, that's 11 lap old on those hards. So maybe those hards just ain't lasting anymore. But Willow on the outside, passing Trap for the 8th place spot. Now his next pursuant is Alex Norris. Speaking of which, Alex Norris, even if he loses 7th to Willow, he will still get 4 points on his end. Because he's almost 4 seconds ahead of Trat Racer. Down an SV into the pits. So, looks like a couple of people are trying 1 stops, others going for 2 stops. Let's see, so 2 stops. There's your 2 stoppers, so Willow is the only one in the points on a 2 stopper. And Gecko is in 12th. He's also on a 2 stopper as well. Penguin's just trying to stay in tune with Raphael for here. Let's go further back. Heading into turn number 4. Allen taking the long way around against Cryptic. And SV looking to sneak a peek in too. But SV gets past Cryptic for 14th. Allen up in the 13th. He's still in DRS of Andrea. Goat Lee gets himself a second track limit penalty. Trat has gone into the pits. So Shorts is into 9th. Union gets back into 10th. Gecko in 11th. So Trat probably will be coming out with the gangle of Allen and SV. We'll have to wait and see in regards to this. So Raphael needs to gain 2.9 seconds in order to overtake Reese for the 3rd place position. Edvin is going to be getting 5th over Torn Penguin because Edvin is within 3 seconds of him. No one seems to be close enough at this moment for a fight. We do have a 3-car fight between Trat, Allen, and SV. That is for there. Let's switch to Reese and Andrea. Reese is just trying to get close, but just can't seem to get it right to get any more speed. Can't seem to get enough speed on hand to go for it. Switch over with Allen as he has DRS on Trat. SV has the DRS too. So this Jack. Allen feeling brave, looking for a move. Nope. Waits his turn, but Jack isn't. But Jack wasn't. He makes the move and passes SV for the 14th place position. Looks like Edvin is now... Looks like Edvin's on the tail of Torn Penguin. Edvin's going like, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to make my move. Willow, by the way, made his move. Passing Alex Norris. But I think Willow went off the track to get the position, so he had to give up. He had to get the position back. And that's the stuff there. But there's the move on the inside. Edvin up and in. Oh, Andrea into the penalty box. Now this is going to be the side relief that Reese wants. And that penalty that Andreas got, that's going to perk up the ears of the Ferrari boys, because they're going to be like, hey, we have a chance to get 2nd and 3rd. We need to push. Oh, Gecko, I think Gecko just got a second. Nope, he just got his first penalty of the night, so that's going to hurt him. But now, in Reese's case, he's like, okay, Andreas got a penalty now. I have an opportunity to go for 2nd. Oh, and Willow's got another! Willow with a 2nd track limit penalty in the S's. Whoa! Reese getting a little snappy on the rear. That's probably going to hurt him just a tiny bit. Let's switch over to Willow as he's chasing Torn Penguin down. This is for the 6th place position. But Will has 6 seconds though. So this is not going to be a moment that he wants in the slightest. Now Raphael is probably going to be kicking on some gas here. Willow down the inside against Penguin. Very brave and ambitious. Side by side again out of 5. Torn Penguin still in the track limits. And in to 6 is Willow. Cryptic in the pits. And he sped 2. Damn. Oh, Raphael, by the way, get a load of this. 3.9 seconds behind Reese and 4.5 seconds behind Andrea. And with 5 to go, Raphael has an opportunity here. Oh, Gecko with a second track limit penalty. And he passed Union too for 10th. Now Gecko could be losing out here as Willow, by the way, battling with Edvin for 5th. He gets it. This is not what Edvin wants. He wants to try to pursue his teammates. But this is the crucial bit for the constructors here. In the live championship result, in the live constructor championship results, if the race ended right now, McLaren is looking at 31 points. Ferrari is looking at 22. So McLaren gains 9, and the constructors are still in their favor. Raphael now within 4 seconds of Andrea. Let's switch over to Reese. This is for second here. Reese trying to stay in pursuit of Andrea. Andrea's dumping everything he can get. But Reese is just still staying pretty close, but not close enough to warrant for an attack. Gecko losing out on the 10th position back to Union, and he gets it back on the main straight, seeing it on the track map. But this fight is a crucial this fight is crucial because, I mean, yes, it's for second, but if Raphael gets involved and gets within 3 seconds of both of these guys, this is basically a battle for the last spot on the podium. Seeing it on the map now, by the way, seeing the timing and scoring, Willow is now broken 3 seconds. Oh, Andrea in the second one! So Reese is guaranteed second right now. Well, maybe not. Raphael is just about within 3 seconds of Andrea, but Raphael is within 6 seconds of Andrea. Oh wait, sorry. Raphael's just about within 3 seconds of Reese, and is within 6 seconds of Andrea. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Just don't do anything risky. Oh, well, Cookie just got himself in the penalty box, but he's 9 seconds clear of Andrea, so, I mean, the track limit penalty is not that worrisome for him. Jack just clearing AJ for 13th, heading into turn 1. This is the crucial bit here. Raphael is just about within 3 seconds of Reese. Cookie's just coming up to the start finish line out of the final corner. 2 to go. 2 laps to go. And Reese is still all over the back of Andrea. Whoa! Andrea makes a critical mistake. Sliding out of the final corner. Reese jumping like a shark smelling blood. They're side by side as they head down towards turn 1. Can he get it done? Willow passing Raphael for 4th. They're still side by side between Reese and Andrea. Side by side they still go. And Andrea somehow, someway, keeps Reese back. Somehow, someway he did so. By the way, looking at this right now, Raphael, 2.2 seconds behind Reese, and 2.6 seconds behind Andrea. So Raphael is looking at... Raphael is looking at P2 right now. I think Edvin might get 4th. Edvin might get 4th here possibly. All comes to snuff. The final lap is on hand. Alan and SV switching positions in the S's. But this is the fight here. Reese, no ERS on hand. He's trying. He just can't seem to get it done. He can't get Andrea on track. But, I mean, regardless of track limit penalties, he is going to get them regardless. But you got to give it up for Andrea. Very strong defending against Reese here. Like, really good defending. But looks like he's coming into the stadium for the final time. Andrea holding him back. But here we go. Let's switch over to Cookie. Coming across to get win number 11 on his credit. Cookie will win. But is the constructor secured? Let's find out. Here it comes, this big gang of cars. Cross the line. Raphael gets 2nd. Edvin gets 3rd over Reese by a 1/10 of a second. And Willow is 6th. 25, 30, 33, 33. It's even. It's not enough. McLaren have the constructors for the 3rd season in a row. Unofficially, they are dead even. Cookie and Willow with 33 points. Edvin and Raphael for Ferrari, 33 points there too. So McLaren gets the constructors. Penguin 7th. Alex Norris in 8th. Shorts 9. And Gecko recovers for 10th place. Wow. What a moment. But McLaren gets constructors for the 3rd season in a row. They've done it. Cookie with the trophy for the event. His 11th win of the season. Ferrari 2nd and 3rd as well. The celebration's on hand. And McLaren having an extra reason to celebrate as well with a win for them. Let's see what happens here. So let's see. Race winner Cookie, fastest lap Cryptic. Willow gets driver of the day via the game. Get the thing for EXO. But yeah, Cookie your winner, Raphael 2nd, Edvin 3rd, Reese 4, Andrea 5th, Willow 6th, Penguin 7th, Alex Norris 8th, Shorts 9, and Gecko the top 10 as your repeat. But wow. Constructors Constructors secured for the third straight season. But what a race that was, especially right at the end. I mean, we had that star-studded show between Andrea and Reese. Neither one was just giving an inch. And then the two Ferraris coming into play as well. It was just quite magic right there. Well, with Raphael and Edvin, because they started 5th and 7th, and they finished 2 and 3. That's good, solid stuff for them. I mean, those two could be good. Those two guys. They could be driver of the day contenders. I mean, you had Andrea in that last stage of the race, just putting the fight on Reese and just giving very strong defending. There's also Alex Norris for that 8th place for Haas. That's very good That's very good results. That's a very good result for Haas there, as they could continue their fight with Williams and Alpine for 5th in the constructors. We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But one thing we can say currently is that I believe, as it sits, Red Bull. I think Red Bull has 4th place secured. They're going to be finishing in 4th no matter what. I don't think they are going to be able to challenge and get 3rd from Mercedes at this moment. And I think after next week, it could determine whether Ferrari is going to have 2nd lockdown, or could Mercedes still put a fight towards them. But yeah, so driver of the day for the race. I mean, it's a toss-up. It's quite a toss-up because you had the two Ferraris of Edvin and Raphael. They had a rough Q3, but they still managed to get 2 and 3 because of the track limit penalties. You had Willow, who started last at turn 3, lap 1, and wound up getting himself 6th. You have Andrea that really fought tooth and nail against Reese, but only was able to get 5th. And then you have Alex Norris getting 8th for Haas as well. And Alex Norris actually having a really solid qualifying too. So, I mean, it's very hard to tell. But I just can't make my full determination on who I'm going to give it to. I mean, I have like 5 contenders that I could choose from, but I just can't rightfully choose who I want to go with. Well, this will conclude the stream for tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Le Mans Ultimate will be at Interlagos for week 7 of their championship. We don't know if we're gonna have a commentary or not. Tier 3 will be at Singapore for round 8 of the championship. Tier 2 will be in Bahrain for their round 8. Which I did mention earlier. Both championships could be up for grabs in Bahrain. And speaking of Interlagos, Le Mans Ultimate is going to be there tomorrow. But next week, that's where Tier 1's going to be. Well, from RPL Street, signing off. We'll see you next week for Tier 1.